I'm starting off with the Prismacolor pencils, just because I've got a small set of these and I didn't want to be overloaded with a load of different colours, and there's just the basic colours in this. And I've done a couple of these in the past and I just wanted something that is already drawn out. Tarot cards, these are a set that I got a long time ago so I could personalise them myself. I have done a couple of these in the past. I've done this one and this one online, you can check them on my videos. But today I'm just going to pick one of them and go from there, and we'll see if anybody comes in and we can have a chat. TaylorMade, welcome to the chat. Nice to have you here. And Jaden, welcome in. And where are we up to with anybody else? I do have 2 lives running at the minute. I've got the vertical and the horizontal, so just in case you hear me talking to somebody, I'm not talking to everybody else, then that's the reason why. Can you just let me know, those in chat, if you can hear everything sounds okay, because they have made some adjustments recently on my microphone and my new laptop that I've got, and this is the first time I'm actually streaming with all the new sort of equipment. So everything else was set up on my son's, I've given that back to him now, and now I am on my own my own laptop, but I don't really know if it's working or not as yet, because this is the first time I've tried it. So if you can let me know in the chats, and you're not just sort of sat there listening to me, or not listening to me if you can't hear me, then we'll see where I go from there. But for now, all I'm going to do is select one of these cards, just totally at random. I have no idea. The first few I have already filled in, so let's just take them ones out, because there's no point in colouring ones in that are already coloured. I wanted to get into tarot a while ago. It's something that sort of interested me for a long time, and I just thought doing some personalised cards would be a good way to sort of personalise everything. So I don't know a lot about tarot, but I do have a book that we can sort of have a look at, and that's the one that's picked out. So, Lovers. I don't know what that means, but as we get along with the colouring, I'll pull the book out and we'll have a look at what is in. Just going to see if we can zoom in a bit, because that is quite far out. Yep. I'm not liking the look of the vertical live because it looks very, what's the word? Pixelated. It's a bit pixelated, so I'm not sure if that is coming through okay, but at least I have the horizontal live running. Sorry, just bear with me 1 minute. I am just checking that the vertical one is running, because I've done that before and nothing's worked. Okay, in the vertical chat, right, I did have these married up on my computer, my son's computer, for me to be able to read both chats, vertical and horizontal, all in one stream. So that's obviously not working this time, so I need to go away and do some work on that. But in the vertical chat, I want to say hello to Clint. Hello, welcome in. I hope you're okay today. And we also have CY10. If you want to drop your name in, you're very welcome to. And we also have Lexian, welcome in. And we have Stream Elements in. Welcome, Stream Elements. It is something, like I said, I've been trying to change some of the settings, and the Stream Elements is something that I've set up during this process, so at least that bit's working. Unfortunately, the chat merges are not working, so I am going to have to sort of jump in and out of different chats myself, which isn't too much of a problem. We'll just have to figure that out as we go along. So hopefully you're all feeling welcome, and I am just going to go ahead. These are the colours that I've got. These are the Prismacolor, and they're just simple and easy to use, so that's why I've gone for them. I have done a review on these on my channel if you want to check that out at some point. I've also done a review on the Faber-Castell and the Caran d'Ache, but they're for more like realistic drawings that I do. On this one, I want to try and just keep it simple and go from there. Right. Let's just get things lined up a bit better because everything's out of shot. Nope, that's the wrong way. Just in case you don't know, or you've not visited the channel before, I've only been doing live streams for probably about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. So I am new to it all. I've done YouTube for a while, but you know, these live streams, I really enjoy doing it. But when you're starting up new programs and new things to sort of be involved with it, that's where it starts getting a bit confusing for me. So hopefully we can just crack on with doing some colouring before my son decides that he wants me to do some stuff. Right, okay. Oh, we got butts. We got a man butt and a woman butt. Don't think this should be over 18, but everybody's got a butt. So let's start at the, where should we start? Should we start at the top or the bottom? We'll start at the top, and I'm thinking some oranges and some yellows. Them two. That one might be a bit bright, but we'll see how it goes. I've not got no reference sort of photo for this or anything like that. Actually, there is a book. So this is the book that these are out of, just in case you're wondering. This is on. This was from Amazon. I do have a link for this in one of my previous tarot drawing or tarot colouring videos that I've done in the past. But there's quite a lot of information in this. It sort of also tells you what to sort of get on it and what they all mean, all that type of stuff. Now I'm not sure whether on the video you can see this sort of flipped over or if it's the right way around, I don't know. So I do apologise if the writing's not the right way around. But this is an illustration basically of all the cards, and it sort of shows you what the, you know, the basic meaning to them. But the idea of it is that you go through it and you feel these things as you go along. Like I said, I wanted to get into it but never did. So more now this is about the actual colouring and having something to colour in. Maybe in the future I might look at doing a bit more about it, but there it is, that particular card. So we're sort of going oranges, light into the middle. Yeah, I'll start with this. I'll probably change these colours up. I want it to be a bit more personalised to what I want, so yeah, we'll go with that. Lexi, welcome in. And I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Oh. Oh. For some reason they haven't got that one open. Vertical. Horizontal. I do apologise for this. I normally have everything set up and I was doing pretty well when I had it all set up on my son's laptop, but I had to change it all over and there we go. Right, there's nobody else come in just as yet, so I'll leave it as that and we'll start some colouring. And hopefully, if we get a few more people in, we may get some, I bought some trivia cards. So depending on whether we do some trivia or not, depends on how many people get in or whether that's what you want anyway. So we'll just do that if that's something that you want to do. Let me know if you'd prefer to do just trivia and not watch me colour. I don't mind either way. I'm just doing this way around because that is what I have available. Right. So today is Sunday. It is in the UK anyway. Let me know in the chat where you're all from. Let me know what time you're on as well, because I'm just getting to terms with all this time zone difference and it is a bit sort of overwhelming sometimes trying to keep up with everybody's time zone. I try my best to, and then I find great little gadgets and little hacks to figure these things out, and then I end up not being able to keep up with it. It's just easier for me to ask where people are from and what time zone they're on. So I'm in the UK at the minute and it is 20 to 10 at night. So obviously we're all going to have different time zones and different places. So you can let me know where you're from. And also let me know what you're up to, whether it is Sunday and whether you're just having a chilled out Sunday or whether you're actually doing something exciting. Let me know in the comments. Yes, I'm going to have to figure out this chat thing again because I got it working perfectly last time. But as soon as I transferred all the stuff over to my new laptop that I got, yeah, everything's set up on my son's and it was running perfectly. So if I could go back and figure out exactly how I set that up. I did it all on YouTube tutorials because I am no tech wizard anymore. I just was years and years ago. That's what I went to college to study. But computers change. They get a lot better over time. They develop, and I didn't develop with them. So yeah, I don't really know that much about computers and software and all that lot. I'm just sort of getting to grips getting into grips with it again. So yeah, I am constantly on different YouTube's channels and trying to figure out new ways and ways to sort it all out. But what I am doing is recording that journey as I go along, and I will be sort of editing that and making it more simplified, one for me to understand if I end up doing things like changing my computer like I have this time. Unfortunately, I never managed to edit it all before I gave my son's laptop back, so I will be going back on these and back and forth on mine and just making sure that what I know and how I've done it is up to speed so that I can let everybody know if that's what you want to do. If you're a content creator yourself, or whether you're just here to watch me colour, or if you want to do some trivia, I am quite free to do whatever people want whilst I'm on this short live for now. I'm hoping you can hear me, because it'd be such a shame if I'm talking to myself and nobody can hear me. Well, it might not be a shame, it might be good for some people. So I know we've got Clint in the house. Clint is from Crafting with Love. He does a range of crafts. Obviously it's in his name, but he does lots of different things on his channel. I do check his out every so often. It's worth a visit. If you'd like to let me know if you have your own channel yourselves as well, I will have a look at your channel. And I always agree with supporting our fellow small YouTubers so that we can all grow and learn. So I'm always happy to support other YouTubers. If you just let me know if you have a channel yourself or leave a comment on one of my videos, then I'm happy to support you by watching your videos, etc. Or even, I've done it before where it's, you know, obviously but not everybody's interested in everything. So if there's something that I am not particularly interested in, it doesn't mean I won't run it, it just means I won't watch it. But at the end of the day, you still get that support and you still get that, you still get them watch hours. So I like layering colours, even from the initial put down, especially on this type of paper card, whatever you want to call it, because there isn't a lot of tooth on this card. It is cardboard at the end of the day. So I start right at the beginning, unless I'm doing something like realism, I start quite early on putting layering down because there's not enough tooth on this card to actually build it up. So I'll go in with something like that and then just go over it again to sort of bring it together, especially if these colours are a bit prominent. It's always good to sort of blend them out. Now the comments have stopped. I'm presuming that is because nobody's in. I'm hoping that's not the case, but if you are still in, I would love for you to just send me an emoji, or just send me a "I'm still here" or something along those lines. It's also to keep you engaged, but I also want to make sure that technically things are going okay, because it's a lot for one person to sort of remember all these little quirks and things that you have to do to stream 2 different camera angles so that you can cater for people on phones and on tablets, TVs, laptops, whatever it is. Also, let me know where you're watching from. Are you watching from a phone? Are you watching from a laptop? What are you watching from? And if you're watching this on the replay, same thing goes. Let me know. How did you watch this stream? Because I want to know whether it's worth putting the effort into doing the 2, the vertical and the horizontal. Obviously I want to build up subscribers and etc, and that's good from the vertical point of view, but if it works out that there's not many people coming in from the vertical, then I don't really want to be taking that time up that I could be sharing a better experience of talking to you guys. Also want to check on the, like, if there's any lagging. I stream from well, you could look at one of my videos. I actually have one of me videos showing you where I stream from, but basically I stream from a wardrobe, or inside a wardrobe. So if you're interested in seeing that setup and how all that works, there is a video on my channel if you want to check that out. I am adding to some of my, what do you call them, equipment. I'm adding to some of my equipment as I go along, so as soon as I find something out, or any products that I unbox that I use on the channel, I also put them on my channel. I'll do like a quick review, or if there's a particular thing I found useful, I'll be making videos about that, because I was looking for somebody who makes all this stuff simple. And although I can watch some YouTubers where they go off and sort of tell you exactly what you need to know there and then, sometimes you just need to take it that little bit slower, because we're not all whiz kids just to find out how's best to set something up. There's a couple of YouTubers I follow for tech updates and things like that, but it's only to sort of update myself with the YouTube kind of stuff. I've got a funny feeling, and I don't know for sure, that you can't hear me. I'm just going to check something out, just to make sure there is sound coming through. Because although sometimes it's not good to listen to me, I have set up my audio, so I do want you to hear me. Yeah, so there is sound coming through on the vertical anyway, so it should be coming through on the horizontal as well. Right, I'm just going to continue colouring until somebody wants to say hello. think what I'll do in the future is get some kind of what do you call it, like background music set up on the actual stream to be played in the background, so that if it is quiet in here, nobody's in the chat, I'm just going to get on and do the colouring, so you've still got some background music to listen to if you're just sort of like watching and lurking, rather than coming on. Right, so we've got the sun. Obviously his hair's going to have to be a different colour because of the... I was thinking blonde, but obviously I don't want to do blonde if that's more of a red. That's more brown, but I want a lighter tip. It's quite small this, so I'm just going to get me pencil sharpener for this one because it's not very sharp, it's quite dull at the end. I do like having a... Oh great, pencil sharpener's just broke on me. That's the first time that's happened. Just happens to be on a live. Typical. Let's see if we can fix this. It's never done that on me before. It's always been my trusty go-to. For some reason it just decided today. I think it's just going to be one of them weeks for me. I've not had a great couple of weeks. And trying to set up this new laptop and all the streaming and the programming and all that lot hasn't added to any of the... Sorry, it's not took away any of the stress. But I was hoping to just sit and chill and chat to you guys. Just whilst I've got a little bit of time. I don't get a lot of it, but when I do get it, I like to sort of combine doing some YouTube lives at the same time as doing something creative. But today, well, this full week really, I've had really bad back pain, and although I would love to do something a bit more crafty like I normally would do, I want to just keep it easy and simple. I have started a new kind of craft which I'm quite excited about, and I've got loads of ideas for it, and it's something called paper quilling. If you have a look on my channel, there is a couple of videos that I've posted up to now that is like the start of doing it, but I have loads and loads of ideas, and I've got loads of plans of doing that type of stuff on lives as well. But there's always a mixture of different crafts or different things. I mean, originally I started with art, that's what I know, but art takes a long time to sort of put things together and complete a piece, so it's just easier for me to do crafts, and then eventually, once the YouTube's built up a little bit better, I may start doing a bit more art and more tutorials and things like that, but I'm still going to have the crafts there. You know, I enjoy creativity, hence the name Create and Relate. The idea of this channel is to do some creative things for myself and also for you guys to watch, but also to do some kind of... We don't have to sort of like let everybody know what's happening, but I want it to be there for if somebody wants to chat about a particular thing, or they want some help with a certain subject or anything like that. If I've got experience like that, then I will share my experiences if that's what they want. But there's always somebody in the chat that has either dealt with it or knows or has a solution or has a suggestion, all them type of things, and I think it's always good to sort of share those kind of suggestions to different people. So that's where the relate side of it comes into. But I am definitely going to be getting some background music sorted out. I just need to look at like the copyrights and all that kind of stuff. I know there is a few places where I can get it from. I just need to get it set up on my own laptop to run in the background. So much easier if you could just play your music that you normally would listen to, but copyrights and all that kind of stuff, it's not worth doing. That's a bit too red. Let's just make it a bit darker with that one. So these pencils I like using because they are quite easy to lay down. They are very pigmented and they cover nice and creamy. But this is the first layer. I do like building layers even on this type of paper, which would... I don't think we have a grey in this set. I was looking like for a grey. Bear with me, I'm just going to get a grey from the other set. Just hope I don't drop the lot on the floor. I do have a habit of doing silly things like that. Oh, these smell good. Yep, I want a warm grey. I thought there was some greys in these Prisma colours. I mean, obviously you can always do it where you go dark in with black and then bring it up with the white, but sometimes it's just easier to get the colour that you want. And I can always go darker with these as well. So I'm just going to put a base layer of this one down all over the wings, and then I'm going to go in with the black to make it darker. Depending on whether you're looking at doing dark, you know, quite a dark colour, you can go in with a darker colour for the base and then go on the top of it to bring it lighter with some others. It depends on what type of colouring you want to do on your piece. Is that part of the wing? I'm not sure. So I just judge each one as I'm doing the colours. So for this one, for example, I want to put the base layer of grey down because that's my general colour. I'm going to keep it quite bright at the top here, so I'm just going to leave the white there, and then everywhere else I can then go in with the greys and the blacks, just to make it a bit more 3D. So today, well, every Sunday, I generally go bingo with my mum. Not every Sunday, I apologise. No, it's not every Sunday. It's every other Sunday I go to bingo with my mum. And the last couple of weeks, or yeah, the last couple of times I should say, not managed to go. And it's down to, at the moment, back pain. So I thought, whilst I'm in the house and things are a bit chilled at the minute, I thought I'd come on and just test what is working on this laptop now and see if what I need to do to sort out future streams. I just wanted to get the software downloaded that I was going to use and just make sure everything's working, so that when I do not these little quick lives where I just jump on and check everything's working, I can actually get to do a more lengthy video. I am itching to do some more paper crafts, which I was doing on the last couple of videos. No, I think my last video I posted about a hard drive that I bought, which has been fantastic. It really has made a massive difference in keeping the storage going with the YouTube stuff. But I think the last two before that, one was doing 3D crafts where I did a minion. It was the first time doing it, but I was quite happy with the result. And then the previous one, so that was the very first time I tried doing paper quill, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm definitely going to be doing more of that kind of stuff, especially when I've got a bit more experience in doing it. I'll do it on lives, because it's good to see how it all forms and sort of brought together at the same time. I can sort of sit and chat at the same time. So my black, where are you? So I'm keeping pressure really light. Black is a harsh colour, so you don't want to go in there too dark. I'm just basically getting them values at the minute. And this is obviously the underside of the wing. So as it gets closer to the wing itself, it goes darker. But it is just learning about how much pressure to put on in different areas. So here again, it's quite underneath. And I just bring that out to join the grey. And then what I do then is go in with the grey again, and then just basically merge that back into the black. It's quite a warm grey, this one, where the black is a bit more cooler. Normally I would have chose my colours a bit better, but this is, like I said, it's not realism, it's just for a bit of fun. For example, if I was doing this properly, I wouldn't go over these lines, but I know that I can just go in with a fine liner afterwards and just put that black intense colour back over the top of it. It's very warm, that grey. Again down here it's a bit more in the shadows, so I'm just going to build that black up a bit. I'm just wondering what colour to do his shirt. I'm sort of thinking a little bit ahead. Another reason why I'm going a little bit darker with the black here, it's not just that it's in the shade and the shadow, there's obviously a cloud underneath him, and I want to make sure I can get some good tones with that. But if this is really light, I'm going to struggle to get that cloud formation colour. Massive tip that I learnt years ago: turn your work, not your body. If you can turn your body, then fine, go for it. If you want to be twisting about and playing Twister with yourself and having all that fun stuff, fine. But no, I find it easier to turn the project, unless obviously it's taped down. But this is all about having a chill and not doing too much of it. The Messy Palette, welcome in. I forgot your name. I really am. I really am bad with names. I always forget my own, so there's not much hope for everybody else. But welcome in, lovely. How are you today? Just doing a chill colour and chat. There's no. I'm trying to do it where there's no expectations of myself, kind of thing. If that makes sense. I just want to do something simple and just have a chat at the same time. Guy, that's the one. There's that many different artists that different art kind of related, or junk journals or anything along those lines, any kind of creativity channels I follow, and I get that involved with that many different people. I forget names, but I've never been a good name person, ever. Faces? Yeah, I can go, yeah, I remember her from such a place or whatever, but names, not so good with. And is it Sunday there? I know that sounds really weird, but time zones and the UK are always different. So everybody who's actually on YouTube, I very rarely see YouTubers who live in the UK, which is quite a strange thing to say, but yeah, there's not many of us. I've not come across that many. There's some, obviously, that I've been in touch with, but anybody that sort of does lives and sort of chats and all that type of stuff tends to be American, Australian, a couple from Canada, but you know, it's definitely not the UK. It's not something that happens a lot. Not bad for an early Monday morning. So you're on Monday there, okay? Because it's 10 PM here in the UK. And just before you come on, I was just explaining that normally on a Sunday I would go to bingo with my mum, but I've not got the pain tolerance today. I've not had it for the last week to be able to go and do that, so I just wanted to do something a bit creative, not too much pressure on myself, and just to have some time chatting to you guys. If there's anybody on the chat, I was thinking of maybe doing a bit of a trivia thing. I've got some cards that I bought, and I thought it might be a little bit of fun to do that. If I'm having a stretch, could do a bit of a trivia thing with anybody that's on. But I think it does need a few people on to be able to do that. So like I said, there was no expectations. I weren't expecting loads of people to come on, but I just thought if people are on, then that's something that I could look at doing. 7 AM! God. I have a book, and I have been known to run to the other end of the house to get it to know my name. Yeah. I do really need to start writing names down, but to be honest, I have that many notebooks around me. I'm one of those people that I need a new notebook to... I don't know, I think it works miracles when you've got a new notebook. You can conquer the world when you've got a new notebook, but I've got that many new notebooks that I've got like the first 5 to 7 pages sort of filled in, and yeah, I forget a lot. And then there's other times when I sort of take screenshots on my phone so that I can remember things that I'm in touch with, or people that I'm in touch with, anything like that, and then figure out I don't actually look at the screenshots. So I need to find an alternative to be able to remember people's names. I'm trying to do it naturally so that I can get to chat to people and something sticks about a conversation. That is how I generally remember names. But it does have to be something, you know, like, you know, a good conversation that I've had with somebody, or some kind of common ground, you know, something that you've both got an interest of, or some kind of something in common. That's generally what reminds me of people's names. But Di's an easy name to remember. I'm just not very good at remembering it. Only here for a few, need to get ready for guests. I really appreciate you dropping in. Like I said, there was no expectations of this stream. I was just what I've done is I have had my son's computer for a while, didn't have a laptop of my own, and everything that I set up for YouTube, all the streaming stuff, all the apps, all the moderating things and all that kind of stuff, I set up on my son's laptop. So when I bought myself a laptop a few weeks ago, I needed to transfer everything over, and this is the first stream that I've done since getting the new laptop. Problem being, I thought I'd just do this anyway just to see if anybody comes on, but at the same time I wanted to check if everything's working, and unfortunately it isn't. So yeah, I'll be going away and making sure them things run properly before I actually come and do another live. This was just, it was a last minute. My son said he could entertain himself for the next 20 minutes to an hour, so I thought I'll just jump on and see what becomes of it. So I'm happy to have you here, and I'm happy that you've popped on and decided to spend a little bit of time with me. Yeah, eventually I just want to do some more crafty kind of stuff as well, and colouring and artwork, all that kind of stuff is what I've been doing for years, but I think it takes too long for people to be interested in, so that's why I've gone more of the craft side of things as well. Only if you got that one. Always glitches. Mine's glitching, or in YouTube in general, or life. I finally got an appointment with the opticians a few weeks ago, and they said that I needed to get a new prescription, and I went back for the glasses, and they're more blurry than what it was before I had glasses, so I need to go back. So at the minute I'm really close up to my work, just making sure I've not got my head stuck in front of the camera. No, we're all good there. But I was excited last week that I was going to get my new specs and I'd be able to see a lot better, but they seem to be a lot worse. So I'm not sure what that is and what's going on with that, but obviously I need to make time to go back and get that sorted, because I was really looking forward to having some new glasses and being able to see a bit better. You don't realise how bad your eyes are until you come to do something that's quite detailed, and then you're all over the place out of the lines and everything. And doing this kind of stuff, especially artwork or anything like that, you always need to have some good vision going on, and if you haven't, that's a problem. Both, all of the above. So my YouTube is glitching. What are you on? You're on the horizontal live, aren't you? The horizontal live generally tends to be okay. I'm not sure why that is. We do have a little, I don't want to say a storm, because after seeing what the storms have been like in America, I don't even want to call our storms a storm anymore, because they're very, very different. But we do have high winds today, and it's quite rainy, heavy rain, so I don't know if that's making a difference. But I appreciate you letting me know, because obviously I need to go back and check the latency and all that kind of stuff, make sure it was something to do with the stream rather than the internet or something similar. Yeah, I always drop in on your lives. There's a few people that do lives that I generally drop in on, so it's nice to see you on my side of the YouTube streets. I see you in chatting a lot of people as well. We all have to support the little guys, don't we? Your pick is fine to me. Oh, good. I mean, I don't know if you've ever checked out any of my other videos, but I've got loads and loads of new coloured pencils, and I've done a review on a few of them. But this set is quite a small set. This is the Prismacolor set of 24, and the reason why I picked this up is because I just wanted to not be overwhelmed with all the colours. The other sets I've got, which I'll use more for like realism and things like that, are quite big sets, and I didn't really want to. That's one of them from the Faber-Castell Polychromos. I just nicked that one out of the box because they didn't have a grey in any of these, and I didn't want to do the white and the black at that time. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a bit more work with the Faber-Castell and the Caran d'Ache ones that I've got. I've got the Caran d'Ache Luminance ones, but again they're quite large sets, and I just wanted to be able to just pick up a set that's got majority of the colours in that I'd need, just so I can go on live and just have a play. I'm going to also look at getting some background music so that when it is quiet there's something in the background for everybody to listen to, because I know a lot of people like just lurking whilst they're doing something else, especially if it's colouring, because obviously there's not something that you need to do a lot with. I only started lives about 4 weeks ago, something like that, 3, 4, it might even be a bit longer now. I've not got really a great record of time, but I really enjoyed the interaction, so I do want to get back into doing that side of things, so that's why I want to get this streaming stuff set up properly before I turn around and go, nope, it's not working. I started doing paper crafts as well. I really started enjoying doing that. My last video was a minion. I'd done some 3D. It's the first time at trying it, but it worked out well and I enjoyed it, so I'm going to be doing a few more of those. But I think I'll always come back to the art roots, because it's something that I enjoy. At the same time as being able to chat to people, there's no expectations of it, unless you're doing, realism like I normally would do, but that does take a long time to do. Always try to return the love. There is a lot to try to make time for. There is. I mean, I don't think I've ever spoke to you directly, but I mean, I'm a single parent and of disabilities of my own. I'm a single parent to 2 children with special needs, and they take a lot of time. So just trying to, they've got a bit older now, so I'm just trying to build up that kind of balance to be able to do something like this. Because unfortunately I'm not able to go out and work because of my own disabilities and care responsibilities, that type of stuff, but I do miss that interaction. So I'm hoping by doing something like this I can relate to other people who've got a passion for creating whatever it is, whether they're a creator themselves or whether they enjoy looking at videos. I like being around creative people. I don't generally, never done crochet before. I think I tried it when I was really young, like a little girl, young. But in my adult years I've not done any crochet, but I have started following quite a few people who do crochet. And it's not because I was that interested in it or anything like that. I just wanted to hang out with people who are creative, and same with junk journals and things like that. I've never done a junk journal in my life, but I just like watching people create something that they're happy about, something that other people are excited about, or what gets them excited, and fall in love with that craft or that, that art form, whatever it is. And I just really enjoyed doing the lives and chatting to people. And unfortunately, when you're in the chat yourself and you're just typing away, it's not easy to keep up with typing. So it's easier for me to talk than it is to type. So that's why I want to do more lives myself on my own. I'll still obviously join in with other people's lives, but I like being able to chat and hopefully do some kind of panel lives with some other creators at some point. That'd be quite fun to do. A bit of an hangout kind of thing. And just chat about what's going on and things that are exciting. Amy from Resonating Art, welcome in. It's very pretty, thank you very much. I've just been saying this is a very I wanted it to be very relaxed. I didn't want any expectations for myself. I just wanted something easy to do and not think too much about it. So that's why I'm starting off with this very small set of colours, because I didn't really want to do any more. I didn't want to expect too much of myself. I just wanted to do a chat and chill kind of colouring session, and just thought I'll just get something that's already pre-drawn and just colour it in. In fact, I might invest in some nice colouring books, because I've got a couple, but they're, you know, the paper quality is not very good. So I might look at getting some colouring books of a better quality maybe, and having them prepared just so that if I do get, you know, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, to do a live, or just join in with something, do a quick video, whatever, I've got something already lined up without expecting too much of myself. But I definitely think it would be a good idea to have some kind of backing music, some kind of, I don't know, some, you know, not blaring music or out like that, something quite chill. Just so that I can chat when people are in, but when people are not in, I can just sort of just listen to the music myself, I suppose. And see, I've not done a lot with coloured pencils for realism, but I do normally do realism in graphite, and I wanted to do more colour. So I'm sort of finding my feet again. You know, I know what I'm doing, I know how to put the values in and all that kind of stuff, but colour wise it's a bit different to what I'm used to. So I just want to, you know, start something and move on to more realism with colour over time. I've just not done enough of it to say that I'm, you know, quite competent in it. Graphite's different. I know exactly what I'm doing with graphite. I've been working with graphite for years. Not so much in recent years, I've not had a lot of time to do it. But it comes back to you just need a bit of practice again. But I have been loving some of the... I was speaking earlier about not having that many people from the UK on YouTube, or I've not found that many people from the UK, but the Resonating group that I found, there quite a few of them are from the UK, and quite pleased that I can find some fellow people from the UK just because of the time zone difference. But that's the great thing about YouTube, isn't it? I think because there's that many different time zones and different places and whatever, I could wake up in the middle of the night, not being able to sleep, do a live stream, and there'll still be, you know, there'll still be people that are willing to join because they're at a different time of the, you know, different time zone in the world somewhere. It's magic about YouTube. I have done some kind of alcohol markers and other things like that colour wise, but this is just too small for doing alcohol markers or any kind of pen kind of, you know, art. It's difficult to do. It is very small details, and something this small normally I would have done with my Faber-Castell because they're a lot sharper tipped and easy to keep sharp, but these will do for now. I did promise myself by the time I've got through, you know, when these get down to stubs, I'll definitely be purchasing a bigger set of these because they're really fun to work with. Nice and smooth and creamy, and, you know, really nice to just sit and chill and colour, not get too involved with detail. It's sort of like a background pencil. for sure. They're not a detail pencil. So something on like this I'd use on like skin tones and stuff like that, but yeah, it's definitely a different. I'm just thinking I need to do skin tones on this. There's quite a few skin tones, but I've only got 2 that I could possibly use. That I really don't really want to use. Let's just see how that one lays down, just as a basis. We've got some bums. I mean, that might be alright for a base, and I could go in a bit harder and put some other colours in. I just didn't want it to be too thought out. I just wanted it to be no expectations, just sort of colour pretty picture. So we're on the same time zone, so what are you up to, Amy? Sorry, eyes wasn't working then to find out who it was who sent the message. Are you working on a project at the minute? Do eventually want to get my acrylics out and do some painting. Yeah, I've done colour work with paints, but not really done it so much with coloured pencils. Or not enough to say I know what I'm doing proper for realism. But, you know, stuff like this, 2D stuff, made into 3D, it's pretty good. But the acrylic paints take a lot of setting up, and I haven't really got enough room to put a decent sized canvas on my desk. And if I was to do that, I'd need to reposition all my cameras and everything, so I'm limited at the minute to be able to do acrylics. So it's easiest way of me doing kind of colouring or colour art is with the pencils. Juicy Buddha. So I'm just going in with this and doing really light pressure, not putting much pressure down at all. It's just to get a basic tone down. I think I'll end up going over this with a bit of other pencils. I don't think there's enough in here in this set to do full tones, but we'll see how it goes. So on this leg I want to go a bit deeper because it's a bit of a shadow down here, but I don't want to press too hard where I can't put more layers on. Same under here. Got to build that up a bit. Face is a bit more darker down here. And under the arm. I think we'll go in with some other tones before it builds up too much. Let's think. They're not strong enough colours. Maybe if we've got... Let's try this. Just want to give him a different tone to what she's got, because skin colours are not all the same. We also have this dude in the sky, and he needs to have his own tone. I think when I come to finish this, I'll put another layer on. I might just dip into some other pencils. I mean, you can do it with this, but I'd rather it be a bit of a better tone. These are a bit bright. Don't want it to look sunburnt. We can always go back in with some light brown. Make sure it doesn't look like he's had a poo. Say some stupid things sometimes. And then we'll go back in with that to blend it in. Okay. Right, that looks like it's going to be me for today. I have my son shouting for me to come, so I will say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for those dropping in and saying hello. Do appreciate you coming in. If you're watching on the replay, I know there's not been a major topic or anything along those lines, but hopefully you've enjoyed the video anyway. Have a look at my previous videos, and if you can like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, it's always appreciated. But today's just about me having a chill and sort of figuring out the setup again. Now I've changed over to a different laptop, and yeah, there's a lot to sort of figure out, and I know I'm not going to get there in the next couple of lives. It's going to take a bit of time for me to get used to doing the same chats again. So we'll leave it at that. It doesn't look like anybody's in the room anyway, so I will come back to this and I'll probably drop in another half hour or so later on tonight if I get a bit of a chance. But if not, I wish you all good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're from in the world. Thank you for joining in, and I appreciate you viewing or having a look or joining me in these lives. So peace out, love you all, bye bye.